What's up everyone, my name is Esmond and these are my top picks for trading card games you should try this year. And I've arranged them in order of how casual or competitive I think they are. So it's not about which is best or which is worse. I like all of them and I'm hoping that I get to play all of them sometime this year. So if you don't see your favorite TCG here, something like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, it's either because I don't like them or I don't know about them. So you can tell me about it down in the comments below. Personally, I like games that have a lot of interaction, games that can scratch my competitive itch, and of course it has to be fun and exciting to play. And I know there are a lot of TCGs out there. So let's start with the first one. It's Sorcery Contested Realm. In my last video, a lot of you recommended I try this out, and I actually did. It's a fantasy game where players are avatars who can cast spells, summon minions, and literally shape the ground around and beneath them. It's really cool. I've played it a few times, and by the way, if I explain something wrongly, please correct me down in the comments below. In Sorcery, you're fighting for positional advantages and strategic locations, all the while trying to advance your forces and push enemy forces back. I found the gameplay experience to be very deep and very exciting, engaging as well, but it can be very swingy. Like there are board wipes, right, that just destroy everything, or there are powerful one-offs that can just turn the game in an instant. And that's both good and bad, depending on which side you're on. But mostly I enjoy for like the weird interactions and things that can happen in-game, such as getting frogs to carry a catapult. And overall, I think it's just a fun game to pass time, and especially if you are someone who enjoys deck building and brewing weird and interesting decks, I think this is a great game to get into. And also, all the cards have awesome hand-painted art that is specially commissioned for the game. It's all very cool, all very high fantasy. But right now, I consider it very casual simply because there's no real tournament circuit, and the rules are also deliberately vague and open to interpretation. But it's great, you know, it tickles my brain in the right places, if you know what I mean. Next up, we have Disney's Lorcana, which I think is a much simpler game than Sorcery. You just assemble your favorite Disney characters and you race to collect stars to win the game. Of course, I'm simplifying it because I've only actually played like the first 1 or 2 sets, and that's what I've experienced. From what I've played, it seems quite straightforward and simple, but I do want to give it another try now that more sets have come out, and I've heard good things about it. It looks like there's a bit more interaction in the game and the gameplay experience is better. However, I do think that a lot of people are in it simply because the art is great. You know, Disney is a huge IP, which is a good thing for the growth of the game because you always need to have collectors as well. And if you're in the right area, their competitive scene also looks good with plenty of events and high-level tournaments to take part in. I'm not like a huge Disney fan, but the gameplay looks kind of fun, the tournament scene seems decent, and I think I might just play some games on the channel if you guys want to see it. But as a game itself, I just don't think it's designed primarily for competitive play. So that's why it's kind of on this side of the scale. Next is another IP game, it's One Piece.
One Piece card game is a trading card game where you build a deck of your favorite characters to battle with.
I've heard good things about the game regarding the gameplay and the competitive scene and the prizes, but I haven't yet gotten the chance to try it. And this is one where I actually like the IP quite a bit. I think some of the art is super cool, what they're doing with the different rarities, the different alternate arts. I think it's awesome. One of the big issues for me is that the English product is quite difficult to find here in Singapore. And I've also read that there are limitations on the different languages you can use in tournaments or in countries. I don't know, it's all a bit confusing right now, and I specifically only want to play with English language cards, so that's why I haven't gotten into it yet. I hope they can catch up and bring it to Singapore. And I also do want to shout out another channel, it's Koilectibles. Their videos just appeared on my feed and it's been just so fun to watch their One Piece tournament vlogs, so go check them out. Now, next up is the big one, it's Magic the Gathering, and most of you probably already play it if you're on this channel. And I think where you put it on this scale is really a reflection of how you engage with the game. For me, I used to enjoy playing the occasional weekly event like Modern or Standard and my LGS, and of course I played a lot of 4-player casual Commander with my friends. So yeah, some people, they just want to play kitchen table Magic, they just want to play casual Commander. while others want to compete at the highest level and go win the Pro Tour.
What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god!
So it's really up to you how competitive you want to be. And that's because there are several ways to play the game. If you haven't tried Magic yet, in all of them you are essentially a powerful wizard who can cast spells, summon creatures, artifacts and enchantments to defeat your opponent, which is very much a traditional fantasy theme. However, over the past few years, it's expanded beyond that to include crossovers with other IPs, such as Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy, and now there's Marvel, there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And yeah, it is actually the oldest trading card game in the world right now. There are over 30,000 cards in print, and thousands of new cards are being printed every single year. So it is the deepest, and in my opinion, it's perhaps the most difficult game to get started with, especially if you're playing in a format like Commander, where almost everything is legal. Even for experienced players, you might find yourself having to read multiple cards and check rulings every single game. But if you are trying to learn the game, there is an official online client, Magic Arena, which does a great job of teaching new players how to play, and you can even start grinding and start trying to qualify for high-level tournaments there. I've personally come to view Magic as the ultimate casual TCG, one where you will soon be able to play with all your favorite characters from all your favorite IPs with your group of friends, which is great. It's fun, it's social, and you can make unforgettable moments. I just wouldn't recommend trying to keep up with every new card they print. You know, even full-time Magic content creators struggle with that. But now let's jump into one of the newest and hottest TCGs on the market. So hot you can't even find product. It's Riftbound, of course based off the League of Legends IP, and it's another game that I have not yet played. I've seen videos, I've seen people play like the starter decks, and honestly it looks fun. I don't play League, so I'm not invested in the IP, but the game mechanics seem quite similar to Magic with an extra twist thanks to battlefields.
Once they're on the board, you'll use those cards to vie for control of battlefields. That's called conquering.
The cost and resource systems also look interesting, so I am looking forward to trying it out. I also like how their tournaments reward players for playing with less popular leaders by giving the best performing player of each leader a special promo card. Like I said, they are the newest TCG on the market, so the card pool is still small and product is still very difficult to get a hold of here, especially here in Singapore. But yeah, it looks promising, and I've heard that there is a good multiplayer format as well, so it could be great for both casual and competitive players. If you've played Riftbound, let me know your thoughts down below, and let's go into our second last, our penultimate TCG, which is Grand Archive. Grand Archive is really taking off here in Asia. I've actually been producing some of their tournament streams in the region for the past 2 years now, and I think it's quite similar to Magic in the sense that you can summon allies, you cast spells, and the aim is to defeat your opponent by dealing enough damage to them. There's a lot of interaction within the game, which leads to many different decision points, adding to game complexity, which is nice. The main differences here are that you have 2 decks instead of 1, and your life total, which is your champion's life total, can change as you level up. And instead of lands, any card can also be put face down to be used as resources for that turn, and these differences really make it a slightly different gameplay experience, and from what I've seen and played, the game is really quite fun. It feels fresh, the art is quite cute, like it's meant to be an anime art game with a western game design, and the tournament circuit is honestly fantastic. And there's also plenty of competitions, there's fantastic prize support at all levels. And they've also just announced a multiplayer casual format, which I'm not completely sold on just yet, but we'll see how it goes. And last but not least, the event experience is also really fun. I've been to a couple of events. In the last event I attended, they even had a cosplayer booth where you could play mini games with them and win prizes. So yeah, I definitely want to do some Grand Archive content on this channel, and in my opinion, if you like the art and if you're looking for maybe a better competitive environment for a game that is similar to Magic, then this could be the one for you. But wait, we still have one more, the final one, and I think the most competitive TCG right now, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of people's opinion, is Flesh and Blood. Not gonna lie, this is a very difficult game. When I first started playing, my brain would get absolutely fried just after one game. The gameplay experience, the mechanics, they are just totally different from any of the other games on this list and really any other TCG that I know of. You're essentially drawing a brand new hand every single turn, and you have to figure out how to use those cards as your resource, your defense, and your offense simultaneously, because every single card can be used in multiple ways. I guarantee that you as a new player will spend your first few weeks losing every single game to more experienced players, simply because there is less variance in FAB compared to other games, and matchup knowledge as well as pilot skill just plays a huge part in winning games.
Down to 3, consigned to Cosmos Shock, up to 7 amp, and that is it! 8 arcane damage closes this one out!
So if you are a competitive player and you want a challenge, this game is definitely for you. There are tournaments all over the world almost every single week and multiple high-level events throughout the year. And all of these events are also live streamed on the main Flesh and Blood channel, which is a huge plus because, in my opinion, I think this is the most watchable TCG thanks to the players drawing new hands at return. And yeah, it's currently the game that I play the most of. And you can check out my dedicated Flesh and Blood channel over at Super Duper Fab. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna stop here. You might have noticed I've left out a couple of big ones like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And some of those is really I just don't enjoy the IP, or I just don't like how the game experience looks like, so I don't really want to try them out. But if there are any others that I've missed, leave them down in the comments below. And if you like these deck boxes that I've been showing off, we sell them over on our website. They're all 3D printed to demand and come in a variety of colors and sizes. You can even customize it. They use any kind of mini snap to display your hero or leader or champion or commander so that you always know what's in the box. And if you're like me and you like using art sleeves and outer sleeves to protect your cards in your sleeves, then this box fits outer sleeves as well. It fits mini snaps. You can fit up more than 100 triple sleeve cards in the biggest size that we have. The inside is also lined with felt so that your cards don't slide around. The lid is secured by magnets so that the whole thing is pretty much shake-proof. And if you have your own 3D printer, you can even print it yourself. You just have to get the magnets and the felt yourself. But yeah, you can do it. We even have a dice tray that can attach to the box seamlessly, so if you want one, go check out the website. Otherwise, let me know which TCG you would like to see more of on this channel. Comment down below, and please subscribe because I recently lost a lot of subscribers. And turn on your notifications so that you know when a new video is up. See ya!